Hello and welcome everybody out there in Union Arena Land. We have another new masterclass video for you going over the Big Yusuke deck in Yu Yu Hakusho. So, this deck is centered around getting all the way up to 7 energy while being able to provide a very big Yusuke that's going to kill your opponent very effectively, very efficiently. And if you are able to set him up with the 3-cost Koenma, that is a very clear sign of success that you are going to be experiencing. It is a difficult to pilot deck, mainly once you have everything online, but at the end of the day, it is just a 7-drop 5k snipe impactor that loses snipe afterwards. It's another Kurapika deck. So let's get into the actual deck and go over the curve of everything that we are currently playing. So to start things off, we have the 0-cost Yusuke. You know this card. You love this card. It's your get trigger. We play it. It's a get trigger. After that, we have the Koenma. I keep sounding like a broken record at this point, but if you have a 0-cost, draw 1, pitch 1, you're going to be playing it. I don't see myself not playing a card like this in a deck if it is an option. It has a draw trigger. It's insanely good. Yeah, you play it. Now, the other 0-cost is actually where you get a little bit of flexibility in this deck. So I'm playing Yukina because she's a 0-cost draw trigger. That is literally the only reason I am playing her. However, if you are so inclined, you can play Genkai instead. Personally, I want to be around 12 draw triggers, 8 actives, but if you want to move that number to 8 draw, 12 actives, then you can go ahead and do that. Or even go for the 10-10 split, but I'd rather aim for consistency over that personally. But yeah, that's whatever you want to do. The next card in the deck is Pooh. Look at the top 4. Reveal a Yusuke or Koenma. That's a very important part. Add it to your hand, place the rest into your sideline in any order, and it has a draw trigger. We've seen this card a dozen times. It has a draw trigger. It's the top 4. It searches for 2 names, and honestly, very important names in this deck as well. Because this deck really spirals out of control as a big green deck once you have Koenma, you kind of are pigeonholed into prioritizing that Koenma, or you're probably going to be losing the game. It is a world of difference how this deck seems to play if you don't draw Koenma compared to if you do. This card is absolutely bonkers in the deck, and with it, it turns insane. Without it, it feels bad. But yeah, it's a great searcher. You want to prioritize your first Koenma. After that, you're getting Yusuke's. Search for the big guys first, or the energy if you need it. Next card is the Uni Ticket card, Yusuke, the 1-drop. So, when played, you put a card face down underneath it. This deck synergizes very heavily with removing the face down cards underneath your characters. So, it's good that this card naturally, organically gets a card to be played underneath it. Its active main, you switch it to resting once per turn, and place 1 face down card under this character into your sideline. If you do, choose one of the following. Reduce the required energy of the next Yusuke card that you're performing raid with from your hand by 1, or choose up to 1 other character on your field. It gains 1,000 BP until end of turn. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do not see any world whatsoever in which I am going to be using that plus 1,000. It just doesn't seem worthwhile for that whole card. Reducing the cost by 1 means you only really need 6 energy on your backline to get to your 7, and there could be a niche situation where you're stuck at 3 energy and you want to get this Yusuke. So yeah, it's pretty good. Being able to get the discount on your raids is exceptional. This card is very, very good for the deck. It's kind of like a 1-drop double energy producer, technically. Like, not exactly, right? But, like, it's pretty close for when you need it to be that. You'll also notice with this deck, we are not playing any 2s, and that is because we're so heavy on 0 and 1s. We have 20 total 0 and 1s, and 4 of them loot, and 4 of them search. We should be good at hitting our curve if we need it, no problem. Of course, if you're playing this deck and you feel like you need a little bit extra assistance getting to that curve, then you can feel free to cut some of your double energy producers in order to add in a 2-drop Yusuke. He's fine in the deck. But yeah, let's get into the Koenma. So, during your turn, when a character on your field activates a choose one of the following abilities, you may switch this character from or from active to resting, and place one face down card that's already under this character into your sideline. If you do, that ability becomes choose two of the following instead. Now, that sounds like a lot of setup, but the next line helps this card be as good as it is. When played, if on the energy line, switch this character to active. Active main, switch to resting, place the top card of your deck underneath this character. That is the part that makes this card so exceptional. It allows Koenma to come in the turn that you played him on curve, rest him, put a card underneath him. That's good. Then you are setting yourself up to have your when played abilities be two different options. Technically, you could do both the use case options. Again, I don't want to do that. But technically you can. Him being the color trigger, it's not the greatest color trigger. It's green, and this is not a low to the ground green deck like Kuwabara, where the color trigger is actively very good in that deck. In this deck, it's mostly hit it early, yay. Hit it late, sad. It is what it is. But yeah, double end producer, we enjoy those a lot. The next card is a card I see a lot of people aren't playing in this deck, and it kind of baffles me. Botan. Active trigger, double energy producer. Okay, if that was all she was, I wouldn't be tempted to play this card over something else. Even the 2-cost Koenma I would play over this. The one that when active generates 2 energy. Yeah, I'd play that all day. But when played, choose one of the following. No, yeah, so you can choose both if you do the Koenma stuff, if you need to. Don't recommend that you do it. So the first part is look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place any number of them onto the bottom or top of your deck in any order. So its on play is Scry 2. For a double energy producer, in a deck that needs to see its 7 drops, I think Scry 2 is going to be a bustedly good ability. The next line is where the card becomes really insane. So, reveal the top card of your deck, add it to your hand. If the revealed card is a Yusuke, you just add it to your hand. If it's not a Yusuke card, you sideline 1. So, it's technically a when played either Scry 2 or draw 1, pitch 1. But if you use the Koenma, it can be both. Again, you don't want to be forced to do that, but if you have to, it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. You know, you're really digging for that 7-drop. Okay, I need to scry 2 and then draw a loop because I went 3 cards deep. You know, do what you have to do. But the fact that you can just willy-nilly flip the top deck and know that you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23, nearly half of the cards in your deck are going to be just added to your hand. Draw a card for free. Now, the other ones are draw pitch if you're going to be doing that. In this deck, I think this card is bonkers levels of good, and if you're not playing it, you should really look into it because it adds a lot of consistency as well. That means you have 4 looters, technically 8. Worst case scenario, it's a looter, and 4 searchers. That is just exceptional. The next card, yeah, it's a Yusuke. He's a double energy producer with an active trigger. You're playing him because he's a double energy producer with an active trigger. And now this card, which enables the deck to have an on-curve 7-drop, 7 energy if you need it. So this Yusuke is no trigger, which is sadness. Its active main is choose one of the following. This character generates energy, additional energy until the start of your next turn, which means you can get use case out of your life and still have it be good. Or this character generates energy even if it's on the front line until the start of your next turn. This card is insane for this deck. I originally didn't have it in the deck at all because I was like, I don't want to play that many non-triggers. I want to be closer to 46. Because this deck has the option to play a lot of triggers. The 1-drop is a must. You're absolutely playing it, but I got completely wrecked on Wednesday nights at my local to somebody playing this deck. And I'm going to be honest, didn't even consider this Urameshi as good as it was, and that is a complete oversight from me. He was able to, on curve, go, here's my 3rd energy, my 4th character on the back line, double energy, I'm at 5 energy, play the Yusuke to the front line, okay? And then he was at 6 energy, and because he was raiding on his 1-drop Yusuke, he had his 7-drop that turn. That was insane. I was like, oh, so you're snipe impacting me already. Yeah, okay, I can see it now. Yeah, that's scary. That card's good. And later on in the game, when he needed extra energy, he even did the Koenma switch to resting to make him a double energy producer on the front line. That's pretty nutty. So, yeah, this card's really good. I only have it as a 3 of, because it is not a always double energy producer. There is a cost. You have to do the active main to make it that. You don't have to rest it, but still, that's a cost. Anyways, let's move up the ladder, shall we? 4-drop Yusuke. This is one of your payoffs for being in this deck. So, when played, draw 2, pitch 1. Again, adds consistency to the deck. We love to see it. When attacking, you choose one of the following. Koenma again. Yeah. You either place one face-down card under this character into the sideline to give him impact, or you place the top card of your deck underneath a character on your field. You can target him, you can target Koenma, so like when you do the Koenma trick with him, it's pretty much going infinite. That's personally my favorite thing to do. Or you could just refuel up other cards on your field to give them impact. It's a very good flexible card, and it's very necessary to make sure your deck keeps doing insane things turn after turn. My favorite thing to do is once you already have a Koenma who's active with a card underneath him, you remove the card from underneath Koenma, right? Which allows you to choose both options. Yeah. And then with Yusuke, you put a card underneath himself and then remove it to give him impact. In an emergency situation, boom, you just gave him impact when you need it. And it's not even like it's that hard to do. You can cycle through this. And the more use case you have, the more impacts you have. It spirals out of control. And the draw 2 pitch 1 is pretty relevant. Next, we finally get to the big boy. 7 cost Yusuke. He is a 5K. If Bandai ever makes a 7 cost that is not at minimum of 5K, write the card off, or it better have the dumbest win plate ability we've ever read. It is a 5K. It is fantastic because of that size. It avoids a whole lot of interactions out there. It's very, very good. When played, it gains Snipe. Snipe is a busted mechanic. All of these cards nowadays have, you can't touch my thing. You can't interact with my thing. Kurama has it. They have the Kenshin card that says, oh no, you can't touch my stuff unless you discard a card. All of these things. Snipe doesn't target their card. It attacks the character. And then you win the battle if your 5K wins the battle against whatever you're sniping. More than likely you are. So yeah, it's a busted ability that people need to start valuing a lot more, I think. When attacking, choose one of the following. Oh hey, Koenma synergizes again. Yay! This character gains, when this character attacks and is not blocked, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting. Or this character gains impact. Both of those are insanely good, and if you do both in the same turn, this becomes stupid, especially the turn it comes out. So what you do is you swing with this Yusuke the turn you played him, so he has Snipe. You're attacking their character. They are not blocking. That is not how Snipe works. Snipe is I attack your character, and then I win the battle. I win it. If you don't, you don't. But because they didn't block, you also get to rest a different character on their front line, and this character can have impact. That is huge. That means you are getting a guaranteed point of damage, removing their character, and removing a blocking potential. That is insane. This card is single-handedly why I am so high on active triggers for everything else in Yu Yu Hakusho. Getting ready for rare battles, right? So that is what this card does. That is the synergy you want to be looking out for. The special is typical special. You have Yusuke or you don't. If you've been here for a while, you understand that I like 3 finals in the 7-drop decks, 6-drop decks even, because they don't have as much value for you late game as they do early game. You want to see 1 early, but then you don't really want to see more. They can be valuable, but they're not as good. So I'm usually a little lower on the final count, but that'll be everything in this deck. I'm definitely going to be working with the numbers. I may end up trimming this Yusuke for the 2-drop who just on play places a card underneath a character, because that can go really insane with Koenma, the turn that you play Koenma. But yeah, I think that'll be everything. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.